The Night Agent's protagonists were Peter Sutherland and Rose Larkin, but I'm still not over what the show did to Peter's best friend, Cisco. A 10-episode thriller, Netflix's The Night Agent is based on the Matthew Quirk novel of the same name. While the book never got a sequel, The Night Agent is returning for Season 2. Given the success of the show, it was Netflix's most-watched series in the first half of 2023. I predict that The Night Agent will continue as an anthology. Therefore, apart from Peter and Rose, Season 2 will likely consist mostly of new characters. While things happened very fast in The Night Agent Season 1, the show took its time to develop the characters of Peter and Rose. We learn a lot about Peter Sutherland's past throughout Season 1, especially regarding his father's alleged treason and death in strange circumstances. We also learn about Peter's time at the FBI Academy at Quantico, during which he became best friends with Cisco. Now a Maryland state trooper, Cisco got a tragic ending in The Night Agent. Peter's friend Cisco deserved better in The Night Agent. Cisco was killed by Ellen in The Night Agent. While Cisco Jenkins was not one of the main The Night Agent characters, the show gave him just enough screen time for his death to have a major impact. Cisco was first brought into the story when Peter, who no longer had all the clearance and resources he had at the beginning of the show, needed the police to check an address and create a perimeter. I assumed that Peter's friend was going to die during that mission, but since he survived, I thought he was safe going forward. Cisco appeared again when Peter needed to leave Rose somewhere safe. After Ellen and Dave once again tracked down Rose, Cisco decided to use himself as bait so that Rosie could escape. While the plan worked, Rosie escaped and reunited with Peter. Cisco got shot by Ellen. The Night Agent did not spend a lot of time warning the character, but at least there was a scene in which Peter and Rose learned what happened to him. Peter and Cisco had been best friends since FBI Academy days. Cisco dropped off the program before he could graduate, but he and Peter remained friends. The Night Agent wasn't afraid of killing off characters. Eric Monks also had a tragic fate in The Night Agent. Cisco was not the only tragic death in The Night Agent. Eric Monks, whom we followed for several episodes, was also shot by Ellen. The Night Agent was not afraid to kill off characters, regardless if they were on the side of the guys or not. Most of the deaths on the show served to advance the plot, though. This includes Rose's aunt and uncle as well as Jamie Hawkins. Therefore, I assume no one is safe in The Night Agent Season 2, perhaps only Peter himself. It's been over a year since the thrilling conclusion of The Night Agent, and yet, I find myself haunted by the fate of one character in particular, Rose Larkin. A seemingly ordinary young woman thrust into a high-stakes world of espionage, Rose's journey resonated with me long after the credits rolled. Her transformation from a frightened witness to a resilient player in a deadly game left an indelible mark, and the choices made by the writers regarding her arc still stir a mixture of admiration and frustration. When we first meet Rose, she is an unassuming tech worker, navigating life in a city that feels overwhelmingly mundane. Her initial portrayal as a victim is relatable and draws sympathy. We've all felt out of our depth at times, and her fears echo our own vulnerabilities. Yet, as the story progresses, she evolves into a character of strength and resourcefulness. This is where the brilliance of her character lies. As the series reaches its climax, Rose's character is faced with a critical decision: to abandon her life as she knows it or embrace a future fraught with peril. The writers craft a moment of emotional weight, and her choice is one that could define her character for years to come. However, the conclusion feels unsatisfying and leaves lingering questions about her future. In the season finale, Rose's decision to fully commit to the life of an agent leads to a heartbreaking sacrifice. The moment she steps into the fray, fighting alongside Peter against insurmountable odds, feels like the culmination of her journey. But when the dust settles, the weight of what she has lost hangs heavy. She's forced to confront the reality that her choices have left her isolated from her old life, her family, and the safety she once took for granted. What struck me most was the lack of closure. While Peter receives a resolution that feels deserved, Rose is left in a state of ambiguity. The series leaves us with the impression that she will continue to fight, but at what cost? This uncertainty weighs on my mind even now. Rose deserved more than just to be a strong female lead in a thriller. She deserved the chance to reclaim her life fully, to have agency in her story beyond the last episode. Moreover, I can't help but think about the implications of her arc for the broader narrative. Rose represents many women in real-life situations, often pushed into roles they never asked for but are forced to embrace. By ending her story without full closure, it feels as though the writers have abandoned a crucial message about resilience and recovery. Instead of celebrating her strength, they've left her with the consequences of her choices hanging in the balance, as if to suggest that once you enter the world of espionage, there is no return. The emotional aftermath of Rose's journey also highlights the impact of trauma on individuals. Throughout the series, we witness her grapple with fear and doubt, yet she manages to rise above them. This struggle is relatable, and it allows viewers to connect with her on a deeper level. However, the finale fails to acknowledge the long-term effects of her experiences. While she may emerge as a fighter, the scars of her journey remain, and it feels unfair to gloss over them. Looking back, I can appreciate the craftsmanship involved in building Rose's character. Her evolution from vulnerability to strength is beautifully rendered, and the moments of connection she shares with Peter are poignant. But it's this very depth that makes her ending feel like a betrayal. The stakes were high, and the emotional investment we placed in her character deserved a resolution that matched her journey. As a viewer, I want to see characters rewarded for their growth. I want to feel that their struggles have meaning beyond the narrative, that their choices carry weight and lead to real consequences, both positive and negative. Rose's ending, marked by ambiguity, feels like a missed opportunity to showcase the full breadth of her character. Instead of celebrating her evolution, the writers left her adrift, much like the viewers who invested in her story. In the years since the show ended, I've often revisited those final episodes, searching for hints of hope in Rose's fate. I find myself imagining different scenarios where she could find peace or reclaim a sense of normalcy. Perhaps she would reconnect with her family, forging a new path where she can balance her past with her present. Maybe she would team up with Peter again, but this time, they would approach their missions with a renewed sense of purpose, no longer just surviving but thriving.